All right, everybody. I'm back again. I'm back again with yours truly, the counselor. This is James Horton. I'm going to be covering a topic today called, that I named, Black Folks and Black Lives Matter. Black folks and Black Lives Matter. We often hear about this new group. In some ways, in many ways, ultimate ways, it's been around from the beginning of the time, from the transition from Africa to the United States and abroad. But this Black Lives Matter group now is, I don't know, you would wonder if it's 10% black or 5%. I've gone in places and even saw the group shutting down freeways and things of a sort. And as I look around, I see mostly Caucasian groups and Asian groups and other groups of races of people and very little black people in those groups, and yet the topic is Black Lives Matter. It makes me think about what is it about. Many times when we come with these school rights and equal education, one would come and find and see that there's large amounts of money, under the name of black. And the beneficiaries are, on the majority level, not black. There are many other races coming in more or less on what they call a poverty level, being poor in a sense. Not being black, but being poor. I've also saw news footage on those that may come from other countries, where they're Arabs or even Asians with dark skin, taking on and writing their name down as being black and benefiting from many of the benefits that so-called are out there for one's race. Okay, it says, when they say black folks matter, one would say, who does black folks and black lives matter to? One would say it matters to the poor, and it also matters to the rich, because there's a benefit in this particular thing. There's always been a benefit. When they talk about the stock market, you all, for those that are into studying and choose to study black history, you'll know that the stock market, the first somebodies on the stock market were the black slave. If you got an individual that was black and you either stole him or bought him for one price, you can work him for the rest of his life. Now, if his life lasted 70 to 80 to 90 years, man, just think what kind of profit you got from that particular buy, from that particular purchase. So I'm just trying to open your minds up. We talk about what matters. And it's very interesting. So it says, collectively, when it comes to the we and us, when it comes to the government stimulus package, it's not talking about the black folks, the we and the us. And it has never been talking about the black folks. When it came with, our rights, and it came to the Constitution and stuff like that, we were not written in the Constitution when they said the we and the us. When they talked about equal rights and everybody is supposed to be treated equal, they wasn't talking about us, because we hadn't become what one would say is equal yet. We hadn't become a whole somebody. We were only a percentage of a person, more or less labeled as an animal. Even a dog had more value than the black woman and the black man, right? So it says black folks are known to be the leaders and the indicators that everything is going wrong when it comes to us. When it comes to talking about us, we describe everything that's going wrong. I mean, in your movies, you will see the villain being the black guy most of the time. You will see the burglar most of the time being the black guy. Even in our stores, you can go in the store and shop with a pocket full of money. And if you're not dressed to someone else's standards, you can find that somebody's most likely following you around the store, right? And so one would think if they was gonna be really, really examining security, you might want to look at another race than looking at the blacks so much, you know, because it's just that way. You know, a white guy can walk into Macy's and steal everything in there. And the reason why he can get away with it is because no one's watching him. No one's really watching him. Even if you're watching a camera, you're not really watching the white guy or the white woman. So, you know, it's interesting, you know, when we talk about Black Lives Matter, you know, and it says, when it comes to poverty between the poor whites and the poor blacks, poor whites are at about a net worth of $20,000 a year, and poor blacks are at a net worth of about $2,000, right? $2,000. I mean, it's a big difference, and even on the poor level, you know, let's not even go there on the rich level, right? So it says this other thing is also when it comes to black poverty, blacks exceed all other races when we talk about the prison system. You know, we talk about the prison system. I mean, we're like probably 60% of the prisoners or higher are blacks, black women and black men. You know, so we are making this country a lot of money, and we built this country. And one would, if you think about it, we deserve a whole lot of more respect. You know, I mean, just keep it real. You know, it's like you go to study history. No one wants to really read the facts of that. No one wants to say what's right and what's wrong. So I'm really thinking real hard on, you know, I'm a believer in God. I'm thinking real hard on what's going on with this corona thing, you know, and what kind of wake up is God giving us to see what's going on? Because, like, it's hard to see the picture for many people when you're still inside the frame. You know, it's hard to see the picture when you're still inside the frame. You know, makes you wonder. So we're gonna. So I was thinking about these two different words I wanna kind of educate you on. You know, it's two different groups of people you want to watch out for. One is the provocateurs, and the other one is Sambos, which is known as Samboitis, having that kind of thing inside of you. So the provocateurs are people who set out to ruin the reputation or to help to entice legal actions against a target, a group of people or a race of people, right? These people go out and they see somebody famous, they see somebody moving up, they see somebody standing up for their people or for their race, and they get all out there, man. They get out there to boost their level up, to be able to sit with with the enemy, I would say. And they'll tear a new hole in someone's rear end, you know, to do this. And they'll make up all kind of stuff. They'll say you had a conversation with them and you told them you do this and you did this and all kind of stuff. They'll even describe you as a rapist or something. You know, they'll describe you as a pedophile, and, you know, yet you love kids and you wouldn't harm kids and you would kill for the protection of a child. but yet they'll put these kind of labels on you because they're hard hit labels, and they can put you away and get you out the way at the same time. Okay, the Sambos, which is known as Samboitis or ancient mama-itis, who are defined as many of our television announcers who get paid to degrade, paint pictures of prominent leaders and famous people in the black race. You know, they get paid for this. They get paid for knocking you down. Paid for knocking people down like Michael Jackson's, the Bill Cosby's, and even R. Kelly's. You know, we don't really know the story of that. You know, we got people trying to make money. We got people trying to make money. It's very interesting, though, you know, how we just jump so out there. We don't even know. Just as you are putting a label on somebody, I often feel that way about myself because I'm a spiritual guy. You know, when people come at me unjustly for nothing, right? Things happen because I got somebody that got my back. I don't know if you all believe that you got somebody that got your back, somebody that's so big. You know, like when these problems happen and these problems come up, what I do and what I try to do, and I want you guys to kind of feel this, is that I don't go complain and tell God how big my problems are. I tell my problems how big my God is. So with this coronavirus, right, there are many people that were so into getting money, right, so into tearing somebody down, so into making up a lie, right? And I say, well, you know, they say, well, he is this, he is that. But no one ever said Hugh Hefner was this or was that. I mean, he showed you pictures of children, pictures of young girls with their clothes on. Oh, they talked about how fun that was. And so I would think, why wouldn't a rich, famous person want to have the same kind of fun? Not saying that I would do that. We all have choices. But why wouldn't they want to follow in the footsteps of the slave master, right? He's the teacher. He's the father. He's the controller of the earth. Or he was and still is in many instances. But nobody's pointing that out. Even in his death, nobody is bringing out what kind of guy this dude was, right? And you guys, this country allowed him to put pictures out of naked women, right? It wasn't even time for that. This was, man, he'd been doing this for a long time, right? Long time. And not saying black women, he wasn't really putting the black ones out there. He was putting the lily white ones out there, right? And nobody complained, right? So, I know one thing. When you have money, when you have a nice car, there are going to be some people that's going to like you because of what you have, right? They're going to want to be able to spend time with you because of what you have, right? And so that doesn't qualify you necessarily as no rapist. Now, age is another thing, right? But come on now. Where's your mama at? Where's your daddy at when these things was going down? Well, was it okay at first? Were you advising your children, your daughters, to go on in there and have a baby by this guy? Was you looking for an overnight, enormous amount of money, success? Were you looking for that? Were you selling your daughter for a little bit of something? All right? So, it says, Samboitis, you'll find black, and Samboitis, when we continue to define that, Samboitis, you'll find black people degrading and belittling any positiveness of people who represent the empowerment of the black culture. You know, it's just tearing them down. I mean, saying some retarded stuff, no factual nothing, right? No factual nothing, wannabes even. You know, these are just some uplifting, these are some longer words as I define them for you that you may have never heard. But in the streets, you know, on the flatlands and stuff, we'll look at it, we call them haters. We call them haters, and sometimes even ourselves, we don't even realize when we hating. We've been practicing, listening to other people, practicing becoming parrots and just mimicking what we hear and this and that just to sound good. But it's a mother, man. It's a mother now that we are in this crisis, right? My whole view of this thing is God is waking us up. God is waking us up to so many things, right? So many things to where we all have to wake up. We all have to check ourselves. We all have to say, how did I come down with this? Or how did so-and-so come down with this? Oh, that's my favorite basketball player. Oh, that's my favorite actor. Oh, that's my child. We have to wake up and ask God, what is it that we need to learn in this situation? This is a worldwide situation now. This is not just the neighbor down the street that sleep in the raggedy house. This is not just, oh, them black folks over there, right? This is no. And this is not even the Asian community. Don't get caught up in disliking the Asian community. You know, they've suffered and gone through their stuff too. Watch out what you say out your mouth. Watch out mimicking and repeating what other people say that's hurtful to someone else, right? This thing is meant to make us come together. This thing is make families get back together. Family is the most strongest structure in our lives, right? It's the beginning structure of all life. It starts in the family, right? And if your family's jacked up, guess what? Most likely you're going to be jacked up and misguided because you didn't have the structure, you didn't respect the structure of the family, right? So, remember, right? Remember, black folks and black lives matter. But I don't want you to just be like, they matter, oh, they person matter. In the black community, black folks are supposed to matter to themselves. We are supposed to matter to ourselves like many other groups matter to their groups, right? We need to get rid of all these provocateurs and these Sambos and these Achamanos, right? They have traditions in many other groups, many other racial groups, like the Asian group, like the Indian group, like the just all these different groups. And if you turn into one of these provocateurs or one of these Sambos with the Samboitis or Achimamaitis, hey man, what they used to do, they would get you and eliminate you. They would put you out. You couldn't even come back to the hood because you was a poison seed in the hood, right? You was poisonous, so nobody dealt with you. So what that did to the rest of the group, it made them get in order, made them get in place, made them get their structure back and have some morals and principles about themselves, right? So let's just stop being provocateurs and Sambos and Achimamos. Let's stop doing that, man, because that's not going to help. You might end up being a victim of this crisis if you don't wake your game up. You know, look for, this is the protection. I'm telling you, in a spiritual way, this is your protection. Get rid of all that junk. Get rid of all that foul mouth and get rid of all that pointing fingers and pointing thumbs and all that and pointing ugly toes. Get rid of all that and wake your game up and get into prayer. Bow down. And not only that, in your home with this family that I'm talking about putting back together, don't just try to be the head of the house. Don't just try as a woman or man try to be the full head. You know, that's a crazy kind of system. God didn't want Adam to just be the head, right? He didn't. That's why he brought Eve to be a partner. You know what I'm saying? A helpmate, right? An assistant, right? And not only that, when we talk about the head, God needs to be the head of the house. If God is not the head of the house, guess what? The house will fall. All right. That's going to be it with yours truly, the counselor, Mr. James Horton. Thank you for attending my class. Right.